All right. So we're going to cover the new commissions features on the AMS plans. The AMS plan was previously called the VoIP plan. There's no difference to what you're getting offered in that, except for the fact that we have so many new features that are being put into that AMS that it made more sense to call it agency management system than VoIP, because it's not just the dialing features that you're getting in this. So one of those features is advanced commissions. If we go into settings and we go into products, commissions, and renewals, we can add in commission matrices now. This way you can have like a yearly rate table or an effective date table or a sell table. So let's look at this sell table that I've added in. So here you would name it, you would associate a product with it, and or multiple products. It'll only show you the ones that are available, because if you've assigned all of your products to other matrices, it's not going to give you that option. So here we can do monthly, we can do a per cell override or no, flat fee, per member per month, or tier years. And then here are the commission structures that I built out so far. So this is where the cell type is new to Medicare and the effective date is between these times. So you can see you can get really, really nitty gritty with things. And then you can do a split for the agency gets this much, as opposed to maybe the agency that is the California sales team only gets $100. And 100% of that is assigned to the agent that's on that team. So you can get super specific. So let's build one. The first one that I'll build, I probably already have all of these listed here. So let's build the effective date one, effective. And then we would add in a product. I don't think it's going to let me save because I don't have a product selected, but we'll go down here. So let's do tier years. Here we can manage the criteria. And then we're going to select, is it going to be the effective date or the custom product field? So let's do effective date first. Nice and easy. So between 1/1/2023 to 12/31/2023, the first year, we're going to have maybe 110% commission. The next 4, it's going to be 85. And for the remainder of the policy, it's going to be 2%. But then if they had had an effective date of last year, we'll now manage this criteria and put in from 1/1/2022 to 12/31/2022. That one was 105%. 4 was 80%. And then we didn't get a remainder of the policy. So you can make it specific to the previous years. So that way, if you have a client who was effective in 2017, if you've gone back that far, the commissions will calculate properly from their effective year. You can also see this option to prorate the first year. Here, then you can also split the agent assignments. The agent would have to be in the system to receive the payment structure or to be part of the payment structure. So here, the assigned agent might get 50% of this. And then we'll add in the recipient, the recipient of the other amount. So the upline is going to get the other 50%. To total out 100%. And you can even switch this pay amount year 2 and beyond. So if you want to do year 4 and beyond, you could do it that. You can get really, really nitty gritty with all these things, right? So update that split. And again, you can then keep on making those customizations and those assignments. So if I go back to the list, now I can also do a custom field version of this. So custom example, monthly, flat fee. So maybe this is an MA product, for example, for a custom field product of cell type. So we've got new to Medicare. And if they're new to Medicare, I'm going to get 600 and the renewal is 300, 100% assigned to agent. But if they are the cell type of already on Medicare, I only get 300 and 300. And then I would also need to track if it was like an agent of record switch or what's the remaining one? Plan switch. You can customize those options there as well. And save. So you can have those custom product fields, which are held in, let me show you settings, custom coverage types and data fields. And if I go down to the custom product fields, this is where I've got that cell type custom field. And I can edit those dropdowns in the create dropdowns. So here I will edit those values. So instead of already on, maybe I can say this is agent of record change. And by editing it, rather than deleting it and adding it, it'll just update the new information rather than you having to go back in and manually tweak things. So just be aware of that. Okay. And now if I go into the product section, even the ones that are not assigned to a matrix. So let me show you, you can just add in more products. So I'm going to say CT Care Plan G Plus. So here I'm going to say that this is 1200. And even though it's not a matrix, I can still split this out payable to the agents if you're on that AMS plan. So you don't need the matrix to do the agent splits. Update. And then you can keep on adding commission structures to that product as well. The thing that's helpful with the matrix is that it can apply to multiple products over different carriers and different needs that you have. Whereas this is going to be specific to the one carrier and the plans that you're entering in then and there. Since the matrix does need to have a product associated with it, what you can do as well, if I go back to the products, if you hit import products, you can actually import a list of all of the products that you want to work on. And then you just pop that in with the carrier name in one column and the product name in the second column. And then all of those will come in with a flat rate of 0, and then you can assign them to the matrix. Okay. So now let's look and see how you'll do that reconciliation. If I go to this commission module, I can import a file. We've mapped the carriers for you, but if there is an issue with any of the carriers coming through, you will need to send us a ticket and let us know the header row of that file. There have been issues with Humana, for example. So we're looking at those, trying to get that resolved. But this one found itself, found the relevant data. So now if I hit Start Commission Import, the client is Anthony Schmanthony. His policy number is this, and it's payable to his agent. I can click on this View Row section here to see more details from my file that I'm importing, or I can view what his expected projected amounts are here and what he's received. And I can even go in and edit the product directly. So if the policy number is missing, for example, you can add that in there, or the effective date has changed or anything of that nature. So just know you can click into that. I'm going to change this statement date just so that way I get some more more records within this. It will not let me import this file if I don't have a policy number or something attached to the record. So if I had hit view row, I could have said, ooh, Diane Shepherd, I don't actually have her in my system yet. So that's why I would put her to that file, or I could just manually do it as I just showed you. This also works for negative amounts, so we can have a chargeback amount there as well. So now I'm just going to hit save. You can also manually add commissions, but who wants to do that? So let's just hit save. Now I can reconcile with my revenue report. So here we can see for this month, everybody within the whole team or a specific agency, a specific agent, coverage type, carrier, product. So if I wanted to check my, let's say my CT care statement for year to date for everyone. If I hit run report, I'll just see an overview of my projected versus actual commissions. If I export the report, I will get all of the relevant data. So here I see Anthony Schmanthony, CT care plan, and I see what the expected amounts are and what I actually received. And then it will tell me in the notes where that came from, if it was a manual entry versus a split versus anything like that. And then what the calculation amounts are there as well. All right. So that's a very quick overview of those features. Anything that I can clarify on that example that I just gave, Clue, that you can think of?
No, I think you've covered it very well. Just my additional 2 cents would be the idea and the thought process around just this evolution of the radius commission structures is giving you, the user, you, the agent, you, the agency, right, the ability to expand upon how you're managing your commissions, your overrides, your upline or downline structures, as well as any splits you may have from a standpoint. One thing to keep in mind is all these options to assign to a user or to an agent or an agency, an upline agency, they still have to be users within the system. So it's not going to manage, if you're a single user account, it's going to manage anything above and beyond what is assigned to you as the agency or the user within the account. So if you're looking to do that, you'd have to have a multi-user account because it's down to the specificity of the user. But this is great from a standpoint of those that are in the Medicare space, those are managing Medicare products. If you've got legacy clients that have an effective date that's 2 or 3 years ago, that has a different commission structure that you might have now rolling into or just coming out of open enrollment for 2022, this matrixy concept allows you to have one set of commission structures, but gives you the ability to have different effective dates based upon different commission rates. So all my MA plans that were from 2020, maybe it's a rate of arbitrarily 5%, but plans are coming out of 2022 with an effective date of 2023, maybe it's 6%, right? So instead of having to go back and create new products, new commission structures, now I can create one matrixy, right? And one matrix, and I can define those commissions by effective date. So it's great. So it allows you to manage the legacy policies and manage the future policies from a standpoint of having one matrix, right? Or maybe you just want to have the same commission structure for multiple carriers and multiple products. So instead of creating multiple commission structures for all your UHC products and all your Humana products, maybe you want to create just one overarching Medicare Advantage or one overarching Medicare Supplement type of matrix that you want to apply to multiple carriers and multiple products. Or maybe you're now in the ACA component and you're managing your per member per month, and you've got different commission structures and different payouts based upon that scenario. So now you can do a little bit better. And then when you get into the multi-user, I'm really rambling. Sorry about that, Danielle.
It's okay. You're good.
If you really want to get in the ability of when you've got multiple users and multiple agents in the account, and you want to manage what you as the agency owner is being paid, right? Previously, you had to have maybe a separate user or a separate kind of identity within the system, but now you can do it to where if you're in the upline or if you're identifying your override or your splits as it gets down to this particular payout for this particular matrix, you can do that too as well. So if you're writing agents getting the standard $250, $265, and you're making your override of $65, or you want to put in your splits, you have that capability now from a standpoint too. So it's just what we feel is a great evolution of the product and the great evolution of the commission components to manage from an agency perspective.
Yeah, thank you for that. And here is that example of the effective date being chosen rather than the custom product field. So here's my rate for this product. And you can see they don't even need to be necessarily, the same. You can make it so that way it's really specific for yourself. So 1200, and then this one's going to be 1300. Clearly, you were going to say something?
Yeah, so Kelly inside the chat had a question about on the splits, can it be percentage and a dollar amount? And the answer is yes. So you can do both, or actually you can do a combination of both. But it can be just percentages in the splits, and it can be just dollar amounts in the splits too as well, Kelly. Yeah, yep, there. And then I think a lot of it was in the actual split override. So when you click on the 100% to agent, Danielle.
Yes.
In this screen, and Kelly, hopefully that's what you're referring to. But yes, this can be, if you uncheck the subject to proration, that's a tough word, then it actually will get you to dollar amounts too as well. So then there you could be your $200 to the assigned agent and your $50 to the upline or specific agency or specific user as well. So that, the new thing in here too with us is that you can assign it to a specific user, you can assign it to an agency they may or may not belong to, or you can assign it to the upline too. So if in your account you've got multiple layers in the downline structure, you could actually skip 2 layers per se and go right to the top as the IMO or whatever it may be. So that's where you can do that breakdown of either percentages or dollar amounts, or 200 here, $50 there, $75 here.
Is there the ability to add 2 different agents on that as well? Let's say agent split it right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So instead of it being the assigned, you could do assigned agent, or you could do, so I'm going to do Sam. And then also I'm going to do Missy. And she's going to be also at, so now she's going to be 15, 0. Oops. So here we go. That was 50. So 25 and 25. So now you've got that 60%.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. So you're just adding the various agents. You can also do it by agencies and so on. So like assigned agent, assigned agents, agency, assigned agents, upline, the agents and agencies, and then hit update split. And that's done. And you can see at the bottom where before it said 100% to assigned agent, and now it's giving you the specific readout of exactly what that is. Any examples that anybody wants me to show?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
This is Joe. So we can actually go back and retroactively put commissions and stuff in there.
Yes. So, I mean, as far as like the managing of the criteria, so that way, if it's like, the effective date range and such like that, if it's going to help the calculations apply that way. So that way, if somebody was a member that started in 2017, those rates would apply to them. Yes, you can do that. Also, we now have a feature. If you go to clients, not archive, import clients. If you scroll down, we now have the option to update existing client products.
Oh.
So this way you can you do need the ID column for the product, and it has to reference the valid client product. because otherwise we would have no way to match it specifically. So be aware it is a little bit tricky to do, but nonetheless, if you do have the focus to do this, it's a very helpful way for you to now be able to update your products.
Danielle, last session, a gentleman was asking if you have two different people, you could use your broker ID directly porting the commission over. How does that work? Did I miss something on that?
I am not aware of the broker.
I
ID.
think, and like he entered the broker's ID from Humana, and somehow it's under his name instead of the broker's name.
Oh, so it might be that if you can determine who it's payable to. So on your commission import statement, if it says that this part is getting paid to this person versus that person, you can do that, but the data is only as good as what you're being sent. So if they're saying that it's being sent to Lynn Lewis, but it's really supposed to be for one of your downlines, you'll need to split that out. So, and you can change some things around, but it's really you setting up the commission structure properly that will help. So where it's like, if I'm in those settings and I'm saying, give 10% to this person, give 20% to that person, give 100% or 80% to me. So see where it says 100% assigned to agent. Instead, you could say 80% assigned to the agent, and then the agency upline will get 20%, or maybe it's always the maybe it's always the owner of the account. So 20% will be given to Lynn Lewis, even though this assigned agent would always get 80%.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah. I thought was directly came over from the carrier side. It's all related to data import. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Yeah, so you can split it out this way, but then if the carrier gives you different information, so if it says like, oh, okay, this is getting paid to this person versus that person, you'll just need to tweak things within your system if you disagree with that. So that's when you would do that commission reconciliation and say, okay, well, they had paid this out to this person, but really I should have gotten 20% of that. And that's where you can kind of look and see how it should be going out to anybody who's below you. But again, remember, they have to be in the system. They have to be a Radius user for it to be assigned to them within this commission settings.
Oh, okay. So if they're not on your account, then you have to add them in order.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would just put 100% to yourself and then just know what the splits are for, other people. But to actually do the agency management within the system, they do need to be a user.
Could you assign it to, so say I'm working with, I don't know, United American, right? And I don't have my downline agents using this software, but United American pays them directly. So could I say whatever my percentage is and then assign that other percentage to United American because they use that percentage? It's a difference to pay that other individual?
I guess technically you could. Trying to think the best way that I would recommend it. Let me add in a product. Give me a second. So what you could do is create, I guess.
If we don't have the total amount become 100%, that's really the doable piece.
No, you can't
Have to.
not have 100% on a product. So what you could potentially do is add in an agency and say carrier payment to agent direct. And then let me see here. So the upline in this case would be your team. So you need to create that. I have to at least email.
Oh, so basically you're creating that other person kind of like as their own agent or downline agency.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that that's how you would have to do it. So now if I go into one of those, add a product.
That's kind of how I look at my agents anyway, since they're not LOA. Like they're their own agency.
Or I guess you would put it to yourself. So it would be 70%, 70%, and then 30% would go to the agency for the payout so that it equals 100.
Got it.
So Danielle, I have a question in terms of setting up, although I only have myself in the future, if I have someone else assigned to it, from the logistics perspective, would we be better set up in the agency structure than someone onboarding than go with this direction, or just use a single person then fix this later? Which one would be easier to operate?
I think you'll have to review it and see what you think is easier because I'm not sure what the best advice for you is, Lynn. I would play around with it with like a product that doesn't exist, like just create a sample product and see what would be the best for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you still have my number, we can kind of go back and forth and kind of see, because we're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also next week, we'll be able to do the actual hand-holding session. So you guys can join and like we can walk through the specifics that you want. This is just an overview session. So it's a little hard to answer those kinds of questions without really going through specifically with what you need. But I would say if you can hold those questions until next week, but I do think it's helpful to just kind of play around with like a product that's a fake one and see how you would want to split it out and see how that will work for you, and then assign it to a dummy client. And then that way you could be like, oh, okay, great. That works the way that I want it to, as opposed to, not trying it out on a dummy product. You don't want to try it on a real product. But it would be easy enough to do. I think I did Liberty on that one. Nope, maybe not. So yeah, I would just play.
Yeah, I think so too. A little while ago, I raised the question with Clue is our commission is displayed on the client's premium page, which is kind of somewhat causing a little bit of confusion right now. I'm hoping this too could be in a different section, though, in hiding, if you will, because there's certain information clients does not really need to know. Yeah.
Well, the client wouldn't see this. Why would the client see
What
that?
happened is in the one I brought up the product page down there, Danielle, if you click,
Mhm.
you see the commission page is over there.
Mhm.
Right, but quite often I will give them a screenshot of what the product they have, what the premium they make, but our commission page is next.
Oh, the better way
Yeah.
to do it, Lynn, would be to
Mhm.
use the self-service where they can see their policy and when their effective date is, but they don't see the commissions.
Okay. So,
That would be the better place to put it. Like I wouldn't be sending them screenshots of their commission module.
yeah, sometimes they have in my office. I just pull up the whole thing. They will just see the whole picture.
Yeah. So I think that it's better. So here I just disabled the client self-service, but if you hit enable self-service, they get sent a portal that's encrypted and a password that's encrypted so that they can view your photo, your contact information, their policies, and any documents you've shared with them. So this is the better way to share things. It's a secure way to share their policy details without giving them more information that they need to see.
The other part of it, lots of Medicare clients only use telephone. The good news is we can accept a photograph of their information. We have not been able to share certain information with them yet, but we
Mhm.
make progress. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I do need to wrap up, but I would say do keep asking questions in the help app. And hopefully next week you'll join for the client work sessions. I will be sending out that email hopefully today, if not tomorrow, with the RSVP links for those clients only sessions. So if you're not an active client yet, feel free to upgrade. If you go to account and then to billing, you would enter in your billing information and we would be able to help you on that work session next week. All right, have a great day and we'll talk soon. Bye.